Well, Nip, nothing like a flawless pistol to wet the whistle. They're warm and ready to go. Fist bumps all across, 11-5, and looking to continue storming on with a couple of saves. One of those players had armor. You can buy a quick helmet, you can get an upgrade, you can force buy here on Entropiq, but you are certainly running out of rounds, running out of room in this first map. All the pass being the pick of Nip, and nothing uncommon to see them there.
Elian's a bit of a scout player.
That's true.
No, don't write this round off. I see a 4-sport Elian scout, and I'm like, all right, maybe there's something weird that could happen here. I like it, though. Nip haven't really taken too many chances. You know, they've got full rifles in play for this second round. They really want to convert it. Smokes are throwing in. They cross behind them, and they do look to get into secret. Oh. And both of those just pixels away from finding some chip damage on crossing players.
But no one wants a silver medal. No award for close. Someone's got to stop this B play, or it is going to be one kill and then a one round for Nip, and it's only Nickelback at the forefront of it. In-game leader with 3 kills. Often good to put up numbers on this team is Nickelback. He was at Katowice at least, but this is not an easy round. That's a perfect kill though. Alone was Hampus. AK now gifted over to Nickelback, and the scout shot does connect. He's taking the sight back as well. Oh, that's a beautiful play for Elian through the Molotov. They were not ready for it. 3-on-3 with a low player. Bomb gets picked back up, but there's a ramp smoke push perhaps for Lackey. Meanwhile, they're going to lock down the door, open it up, escaping his crad. Beautiful headshot for Rez. Okay. And with his back cleaned up, he can get this stick in. He won't, but he does trade another kill, and this is falling apart at the seams unless Crad can sneak in time. He might not stop the plant, but he might win the round. 1 kill, 4 ammo, and it's Rez to win it out with 4. He is beasting right now, is Rez, 16-6. But a nice try for Crad, however, not enough bullets.
Crazy, man. Oh, it's just wild, isn't it?
That's one thing you can say about this game. Like, even though it may not matter after it's all said and done, it's 12-5. But how many of these rounds, Harry, have been so close? How many of these rounds have been 2-on-2s, 1-on-1s, clutching out? Like, there have been some very good opportunities for either team, especially Entropiq. But Nip have just been closing every single position. Entropiq have had their fair share of attempts. But I love already the T-side calling that's coming into this game, like just double secret smokes, back-to-back rounds, getting down lower. Entropiq have made a bit of a read. They didn't like what they saw last time, and so they go and stack the bomb site, but no need to commit for Nip. They just get that yard control for free. And up against pistols, even with the scout for Elian we saw last round, there's very little Entropiq can do to stop this play. And now as they double back, that stack on lower is corrupted. Krad's realizing it. He hears steps in garage, but he can't really do much about it.
Oh, Hampus might have just hit this timing. Now, he might not ever check credit, but that's the thing about Nip, man. They go hard when they're outside, so Krad, how on earth is he meant to survive this? Hampus still hasn't checked it. There's a real false sense of security right now.
Hello.
Oh, there's no security at all now. There's Hampus with the swing. He's at least going to find the 4-on-4, but that's still the bomb. Dropped outside of main. You're getting a little bit paranoid, a little bit worried. Oh, dear. Glock comes in with another kill. S-Tag just about gets it back under control, and it's only Nickelback left standing at the very end. 1-on-3. Molly into hell just to deny that point of rotation. Don't get tagged in it as it spreads his way. He won't. I don't know about him yet, and he does find the pick to heaven. That's now an AK retrievable and a chance in the clutch, but does he want to give it a go?
He can't escape Satan's wrath. Hell and heaven mollied out right now. He's stuck in purgatory. And nowhere to go. No round to win. He's going to have to save this AK-47 into the first full buy of the half. A nice try, right? It's actually the MAC-10 that saves it there. The double kill from S-Tag and Door. Sometimes a MAC is useful on those anti-ecos. Not always can a rifle be great at mopping up multi-kills when you're getting faced by so many USPs. So Nickelback will save something at least, but Nip will save the round. 13-5, not getting ecoed. That's something Entropiq couldn't survive on their first half. You know, and this certainly draws the whole group into question, right? Because I'm sure you'll agree with me yesterday. Obviously, Fnatic not really a world beater right now, but NiP looked good. There was no question about it. Entropiq, they also look good. They didn't really have many problems against MOUZ in taking that 2-0. Yeah, close maps, but you know, still with MOUZ now beating G2, like that weird triangle of doom, right? Of who X team beats Y beats Z. Like, I don't know where to place many of these teams. Except I know to place NiP right at the tippity top.
Nickelback missed that first timing. Oh!
No way!
And still falls short.
He heard the cross.
He knows they've made it in, but still, you got to get it back under control. That's a wonderful trade out of Plopski. It's opened up the B play. I don't know. I don't want to say the S word.
Yeah,
I really don't.
Do it.
But
do it.
You should be thinking about saving here. Like you can't have any say in what's happening down at lower. Your points of rotation have already been cut off. Right, ramp was double mollied. You know they've been down lower for a while. Someone's going to be watching vent, and if they did try to go outside, well, S-Tag was there, ready to shut down anyone attempting a retake. So Entropiq, their first go at the rifle round, you know, with all the bells and whistles, or M4s, they had everything they needed. It gets bested in the opening, what, like 20, 30 seconds of the round, just with a fast B play down through Secret.
It's kind of crazy because this is just such a skew-if group, right? Maybe that's why the results are quite interesting right now, because almost every team are playing with, you know, stand-ins or recent roster changes or, you know, COVID-popped players. Like, there's a lot going on. NiP are no exception, right? Yeah, we've seen this roster many a time in many tournaments. They were Pragma's ETR up until recently anyway. So, you know, this is a last-minute change for NiP in the final week, and they still look good. For Entropiq, they're pretty much the only solid roster in this tournament right now. Sorry, in this group, other than LFO, who have also been boot camping. But they are getting diced. That's more like it for Lackey. Gets a couple outside. Fuzi will trade. And don't count out NiP from around like this. Elian's got the AWP still on ramp, but all of NiP are located outside. Flash pop and drop, and oh my god, S-Tag wins that fight.
He's not meant to.
No.
But he does. The boy Wonder now making his way up into heaven, trying to tee them up for an A split. Now, if you look at the mini-map, you will know that that bomb is not with any of the outside players, so they're going to have to go back and get it. This is giving, like, don't get me wrong, it's giving time to S-Tag to get into position. The longer it goes silent, the more ground's going to start to get taken elsewhere. The bigger picture Entropiq are going to start to paint of what this round is hoping to be.
I love this call. They could have just walked back lobby and gone to split A with S-Tag, but they know we haven't had lobby all this time. It might have been taken, and they're so right. Elian's pushed in with the AWP. This is a perfect reposition for NiP. I thought they were going to go main. It is looking like it wants to end B, but it's not the end of the world. You can go up vent if S-Tag finds an A pick. If he dies, you commit with the lower play. But this is far safer than walking into what was the AWP in lobby. How did NiP want to close?
Ooh, hang on a moment, right? So Krad, never mind, he gets the spot. Only good for one. S-Tag threw the retake smoke in heaven on A, and that's kept both players here for Entropiq. That was the little detail I wanted to point out. Elian could attempt to deny this plant, miss shot. The double door swung, and it's Plopski. Wonderful little spray transfer there to lock in map point for NIP.
They are loud, aren't they? Plopski, the man of double. What site, doesn't matter what half, and this is what we said yesterday against Fnatic, but it's applied today as well. There is not a weak link in NiP. There is not a player underperforming. There is not a gap that Entropiq can exploit. Everyone is hitting their shots. Everyone is shining bright. The calls are clean. The AWP is hitting. And Plopski, what a transfer.
Yeah, crazy. That's a Baker's double right there. 3 in the round.
I like the AWP vent play, but it screams of desperation at 15-5.
Despacito, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, spam damage. Goes either way, but ultimately Krad is the man. Looking worse for wear. This time with the outside smokes in again, they're going to walk him close. Use that this time to try and take garage control, and there's nobody here for Entropiq.
Of course
so
there's not.
that's going to get taken by NIP. It's free real estate.
Nickelback's been baited for, but will he see this cross? He's looking the right way. Oh, and then he turns. Of course he does. Looking back at nothing, in fact, and gets cleared from yard. Very awkward timing, but it's a sign of the times right now for Entropiq. They are looking like a wreck. A husk. And Nip ready to shut out this entire first map. Entropiq's pick. Lobby has been taken. S-Tag does get cleared from below. That's fine. Forrester now needs to turn his eyes back to main, and he does spam out res. That's something. 3 on 3. A is conceded as Hampus comes in from heaven. He's looking to shut out the map, and so he shall. 2 from the top, and 16-5. It is not even close. Nip take away their opponent's map pick, and now we head to Overpass to see if they can make this a quick day in the office.
Right now, I am joined by Vase and you, Rez. You just managed to win on Nuke, a map where your team kind of has like a low win rate. Those guys have a high win rate. The fact that you are still playing with a stand-in, like, does it give you some kind of like confidence? You know, like less pressure?
Not really. Like we try to play like we always used to, and we prepare like normal. And this team we prepare really well against, I think, and we had a really good reads, and it worked out really well.
Well, you had that really good start. You started on the city side, but it was Nuke. Now you're gonna go to Overpass, which is your pick, which means that you will start on the T side. Should we expect also like 10 rounds, or would it be something different?
We'll see. Obviously, Overpass is on one of our strongest maps and one of my favorite maps, and it's a really fun map in general. And I think it's gonna be an interesting game, but we're really prepared.
Okay, thank you very much, Rez. Good luck on Overpass.
Thank you.
Got him? Nah, he's gone inside. Good. Oh, 2 people down in the middle. He wasn't moving. He had no idea what was happening. I'm fishing and going. There's 2. There's one on the island and one on the island boy. At the ruins here? Oh yeah, let's go. I'm on the... I'm going bottom, I'm going bottom. Cool. Ooh, someone bumping. Yeah, he's bumping onto one of the houses. Parachute on a house. Behind him. This is one. He's climbing the ladder here. Beautiful. Whoa! Okay, I'm bumping that guy.
2 on the one behind you. Yeah, on that thing.
Oh, okay.
What a funny game that was.
'cause I like the way you try, even though you know you will
We saw an understandably happy Frederick Rez Sterner in the interview with Heku because NIP come out on top on Nuke 16-5 over Entropiq. Strong fashion and a great win to start off this best of 3. Guys, are you surprised that Entropiq didn't get more than 5 rounds? Alan, Maui?
Certainly, and I do think actually the scoreline is a little bit deceiving. That first half was on such a knife edge the whole way through, and it was only really towards the end where NIP actually established economy. Throughout the rest of the half, both teams were on the absolute limit the whole time, and as we'll talk about going through this one, anti-ecos for both teams played a big factor in that one.
This was, in my eyes, an unacceptable sort of loss for Entropiq. The way that they lost it, where the game was so back and forth, like you said, Alan, and then to lose one anti-eco and then not win a single round for the rest of the game, there needs to be better mental composure for a team like Entropiq in this kind of situation. And someone like Hooch is a guy that we frequently will praise, but he needs to do a better job at uplifting his teammates. Between map 1 and 2, I would have loved to be in on the pep talk that he gave there because they need to come back stronger. This is not the Entropiq that I expected going into this match, and I hope there's a different one in map number 2.
Now, on screen, we have Hampus, who perhaps less a feeling of entropy and more euphoria, Alan.
Yeah, potentially. I feel like Hampus is a player. He really suits that position in terms of outer or nuke on the CT side. He loves playing these spots where he can call around himself. He can be aggressive. He can tell his teammates, I'm going to go here. We're going to play this setup. And he really thrived during this game. And when Hampus is playing well on the CT side of nuke, it elevates Nip so much because he's playing the most impactful position.
His read for the game is incredible sometimes. Yeah. When Hampus is on, when he's in, like, Hampus has kind of talked about it before, and it's very hard to get in the mind of Hampus. I think Paula might have some insight into what this guy is thinking from time to time better than anybody, and that's a scary prospect when we're supposed to be the analysts up here. But Paula, you seem to know a lot about this guy, but his read in these moments is sensational.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have full insight on to why that is specifically, but I can tell you that he's a very relaxed dude. But then when it comes to server, he's super clinical.
Yes.
It's why Alex Machine Richardson came up with the nickname The Doctor. You know, he's precise in everything he does, and yet he seems to have great decision-making, Alan.
Yeah, indeed, and I think for a lot of these NIP players, we look at them as individuals and say maybe they're not performing individually well enough, but they are top-level players. They have played these positions for a long time. And outside of just Hampus, we can see Rez here as well. 2 players. I guess we'll throw in Plopsky on the side for good measure. All 3 of them together during this game were just on a different level, especially going into that second half.
Yeah, we have our aim high head-to-head on screen right now. For that first map, Nuke, you know, as just alluded to by Alan, we could have had Plopsky in there instead of Rez. Hampus, Rez, and Plopsky had fantastic performances. Maui, do you have any other words with regards to what NIP did right?
I just think that what they did was getting into the head of Entropiq. I mean, the style of rounds that they won was sometimes a little bit chaotic in that they just came out on top in these really close moments, and that's going to just wear you down as a team. When you're losing the 2v2s consistently, when Fozy is clutching a 1v2 against you, those kind of things just showed the prowess, the individual ability, even from some unlikely suspects from NIP. So credit to mostly the individuals. I actually thought that the team play was all right. It was strong, but I think that really they showed that they're just a different level.
Alan, how much of a chance is there that Entropiq bounce back on Overpass, which is NIP's map pick?
Yeah, I think a huge question, as Maui alluded to, is how can they reset now from this loss? And as we were mentioning, it was such a long streak for NIP there towards the end of that game. They need to hit the hard reset button, potentially have team talk saying, guys, we just need to relax because going into Overpass, this is not a super strong pick for NIP. They've just looked at the weaknesses of Entropiq and said, there is a window here, we're going to give this one a go. So I don't think it's a slam dunk that NIP are huge favourites on Overpass, but certainly if Entropiq show up in that form again, it will be an NIP 2-0.
Maui, will it be a slam dunk a three-pointer or some other basketball reference?
It's gonna be a heave from downtown. Paula. It's gonna be a heave. It's gonna be a good one at that. I think there's gonna be a lot more team play from this for the side of NIP. I was really critical of how they played Overpass T side, especially last year, but DJL has brought a much better look for this squad, and that's on top of the fact that I actually already liked NIP's CT side. When they beat Gambit recently on the map, they only dropped a single round on the CT side, and that's a big victory for them, and I think that they're gonna come up with the 2-0 now.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. Shout out to all of you at home for tuning in. Do not go anywhere. Up next is map 2.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Choose nades, choose a smoke, choose a flashbang. Choose team badges to support your favourite CSGO team. Choose an ESEA Premium membership. Choose routes you know bring in wins. Choose pro video tips. Choose the fan club wars. Choose behind the scenes content. Choose good grades. Choose guns you know you can shoot right. Choose bingo. Choose the equipment you know is going to get your team the win thanks to heat maps. Choose the CSGO Hub Premium, the complete package to help you and your squad achieve all your CSGO goals.
On this day, I take my place in this legacy of dust. I ricochet all in your face, and it quenches my bloodlust.
Hooch giving a bit of a rousing speech to the crew. I mean, NIP, they just kind of steamrolled Entropiq on Entropiq's map pick of Nuke 16-5. Little interesting stat line for you, and that's that every second half that NIP have played so far, they've gone flawless in. That's quite a track record to have. And one, they're looking at keeping good standing here on their map pick of Overpass. Hugo, I want to get your thoughts. I want to pick your brain.
Ooh, leave it alone, Harry. Yeah, it's leaking right now. It's overblown with love for NIP. This has been a great tournament for them so far. Yeah, you know, the stat, I think, is very, very good. We'll see how it holds true throughout the group, because I will say they haven't had too competitive games yet. It certainly wasn't the case against Fnatic. An underwhelming map from Entropiq.
And really, this was meant to be. This was meant to be competitive.
Oh, this was absolutely, yeah, that's why the devs framed it as they did. Like, this was meant to be a super close game, and Entropiq have not shown up. They'll have to now. This is a scary one, though, Harry. A map that NIP have taken off of likes of Gambit, off of Na'Vi as well in recent memory. So I'm worried. NIP aren't. They're ready. They're raring to go. They're klar as all can be. And here we go. Map 2 of the series. Overpass. NIP T-side start will be interesting to see. As you've said, it's often been their closer. And when you're 10-5 up, closing on a T-side is not quite the same as starting there. Rez, we heard from him after the first map with Heku, and he said that he was very happy to be on Overpass, one of his favorite maps personally. And he has been the guy to look out for in these two matches that NIP have played. Let's see if he shows up right here, right now, when it matters most. P250 dropped over, setting up their star. Lots of utility. And for Entropiq, it's a full Kevlar buy.
Yeah, Easy does it from the get-go, but this slow pace has given room to the long push. Nickelback getting left here all alone, and he might have a freebie. Oh, no! He tried to play the trigger discipline.
Got him mid-air! He killed him mid-air!
Okay, Popsky, all right, lad. And now a follow-up dink onto Elian as well. That is a rough old start for Entropiq.
Get down, Mr. President. The body block into the mid-air headshot. That's a scroll wheel. That is not on purpose. 3 on A. They didn't over-rotate. Smoke's coming down, though. Ooh, did that even land? It didn't look like it. It's on the roof right now. It's on the fence. Oh, it just bounced over. Very nice smoke, considering they're coming out long. And Entropiq are playing inside of it. Forrest is going to get a kill, but he'll swing, and Plopsky follows up with a second. Lackey out from CT, trying to hide, trying to survive. Rez hunting him down in the spawn, but Lackey's got the headshot. 2 so far, and 2 on 1 as S-Tag takes Krad out of the round. The bomb is planted, and even if Plopsky falls, S-Tag set up to close.
Lackey was one of the big reasons why they stayed competitive, but falling down there, not able to relive some of those Nuke performances in what was, a round where he's all alone, 1v2, needed a 4K to mop that up. Dude, that little long smoke dropped over by NIP was a thing of beauty. It felt like it was all destined for a CT post plant. Obviously, plans change based on, the contact that they're getting. And once they open up this banana post plant, this toilet post plant, they're keen to switch it up, but that was really nice, like a very cool pistol with a lot of intent behind it.
Yeah, Rez said they prepped well for this game, and it certainly felt like it on Nuke. Their reads were perfect on T-sides. They, were good at locking down those top hits that Entropiq are usually so good at on Nuke. And so, right there, just more things being brought to the party. Hampers get to pick in middle, and I love the call. Just an instant reset B. You're up against pistols. Entropiq have already panic rotated up on top. This is nice for Nickelback. He skirted his way onto the top of Monster. This is a hard angle to clear. Oh, they're going to go for it. What awareness from Plopsky. Does not fall for that one. Nickelback full blind, and round is over, folks. 2-0. And maybe the series as well if Nip can keep this up.
It's very convincing, isn't it? It's a really nice look as well. For a team that's T-sides used to be so rough for the longest time, it's great to see them now coming into fruition.
I agree. I still want to see them tested. I still, they haven't had a competitive game yet. I want to see them against G2 and even Mouse, who managed to win earlier on today against the aforementioned team. So, there's certainly more challenges in this group for NIP at a bare minimum. I thought Entropiq would be one of them, but we're yet to see that, aren't we? Early days in map 2, however. Gonna have to wait for that first buy in round 4. One more eco. I like how we get a little bit of a vibe check, you know, we get to listen in somewhat. Whether we're allowed to or not, what are you gonna do, make me talk? I just stop.
Yeah, I don't know how much you were gaining from listening.
No,
to
I don't
these
speak
ones.
Swedish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still nice to hear.
Favorite Swedish team?
No, it was Nip speaking initially.
I know. Here you go. I'm just throwing you on.
I only speak English, Harry. That's where we stand here. We've established that.
And a little bit of German.
And a little bit of German. I'm an ignorant Brit. But I'm working on it.
He could be super ham, Puss. Like, as a reference to super ham.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. We'll put it on the post-it notes.
Yeah, we need to try to think of some good quotes. But here we go. All right, little pause. I'm curious what the pause was for. I'm assuming it's for the rifle round coming up as opposed to how you want to get away with much here. But, you know, maybe you killed 2 birds with 1 stone like a savage.
Collateral damage, always nice. Or not. Depends who's getting hit. And right now these birds are getting plucked out of the sky. Elian's got to be careful. Jumping and spotting will go back to the site. We have some smokes here in this round, but I don't know how much you're really going to get out of them other than just cycling them at the B site. The S-tag is faking right now. One more smoke going out on short. Actually, Monster rather. But Nip are always, and were always, going to take this A site, waiting for S-tag to run it back. And again, Entropiq have got the stack. That's never been the problem. On Entropiq, trap them in their own bomb site. Forrester, the only man who can save Entropiq.
He's gone after 1. That hero MP9 couldn't overstay its welcome.
No,
versus
he checked out early, Harry.
Yeah, he did. Early checkout.
Who does that?
Way easier than arranging a late checkout. That much is certain.
Oh dear.
And for Lackey now, having to pay for the mini bar at this one, 1v4. It's awful. He's been lumbered with the entire team's checks. And he can't cash them. This is NIP 3-0, converting from the pistol, right? Breaking apart the force in the second. This one was always meant to be the easier of the 2, and it was. Lackey just hoping he can do really anything. Just a bit of damage, just a kill, but not going to happen. Whittled down over the wards long, and yeah, that's nice and clean. 4 alive, now a chance to play bonus as well. You know, you're already rife with cash if you're NIP, and it could be about to get even better if you're going to win this one out. That was what happened back on Nuke, if you remember. That first rifle round came in for Entropiq on their CT side of Nuke. A pretty one-sided score. I think it was 12-5 or 13. No, sorry, 13-5 at that point. And they got wrecked in the first buy round, and really that set them up for failure. So you don't want that to happen here. Obviously, it's earlier on in the game. It's not the same stakes anymore, but you just don't want to get off to that kind of start, considering the momentum that NIP have.
Well, Elian missed his flash to pop Crad into middle, and so he couldn't get that early pick. He got blinded by a T-flash as well. Forrester has found S-tag in B short, though. That's a big opening kill for Entropiq, a huge piece of real estate cut out of the Nip puzzle, and the AWP follows up. 5-on-3, beautiful start for Entropiq. All they ever needed, all they've been waiting for. They came into this round with a plan, and it has worked so far. Boost now up for more info at B. Doing that in the late round is very oppressive. Means you've got to keep 3B, though, to ensure Monsters under control. So Nip have a chance, but that's swiftly dwindling. Crad picks Hampus out long, goes back to the bomb site to join up with the AWP, and the boost's fallen as Forrester's made his rotate. This is perfect for Entropiq. This is a round in the palm of their hand with only Fuzi and Plopsky to grab it back. Re-smoked at 45. And got to play the waiting game now.
Can't knock the patience on this one, right? They wait for the smoke to fade, and now they look to move in. But with Elian and Krad on the angle, I don't know. Do you even survive this cross? Do you even make a dent? Elian doesn't seem to think so. Fuzi, that's an AK retrieved, but honestly, you know, he just wants to try and take something out of the round with him. Does fall before the timer expires at least, right?
And that's what we need, man. That's just what we need if this game was ever going to be competitive. Elian on a CT side with an AWP, just multi-killing every round. Like, that is how you do it on Overpass. And this guy, he is here for that exact reason, to be the star AWPer. And it feels like we don't always get that against higher level teams. Like, put him in tier 2, he will destroy. Put him up against the big boys, suddenly he can have off games, off days. And so this can't afford to be one of them. Elian has started strong. Let's see how he goes on.
Creeping out. Oh, mate, it's not creeping anymore. They're flat out running. They're charging. Here they come. S-Tag with the opener. They're out through Monster. This is looking like the B commitment after all. Gotten so deep, may as well commit to it. And S-Tag was always suspicious about the short side. Nickelback now dropped out of the round. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. But it should be a save, unless, you know, if you get a kill to tempt you in, like if Elian could spam the planter, for example, that would certainly entice you. Unfortunately, not going to connect, and so that should seal the deal on this save. Entropiq get out of there with 3 alive. That's something, I guess. Ooh, yeah, just leave. Yeah, let's leave. That's probably the safer option.
That round's such a middle finger, man. They sit behind the molly for half of it, and then they just pop a smoke and sprint through at the end. Like, really annoying. As soon as Entropiq thought, yeah, my smoke's worked. Like, they're not out B. They haven't smoked it instantly. Like, that's what you'll do. You'll B rush. You'll smoke the molly. You'll throw flashbangs. You'll announce it, and that'll give Entropiq some time to realize they don't get that time. Lackey is caught jumping out of barrels as they smoke the molly and flash in unison. And then boom, there's an entry. S-Tag makes a good read on that short player, doesn't fall for Nickelback tucked. He could have been the one to stop the plant, and instead 2 kills instantly with no position on B. Got to throw in the towel. Nip. It's a masterclass right now on the T side. They lose their first gun, or 2 Entropiq's first gun, but they come right back in with a winner, avoiding that AWP. And while it will continue, right, 3 saved. What else have Nip got to show? They've even brought out their own AWP.
Elian tried his hand at the mid-peak, didn't see anything early, so does get out of there. After getting flashed back off the angle, Ampus even toying with this short control, but he does opt to leave. Interesting decision to leave short. I'm assuming that means this is the A play. Right, there's no way that you have con and you take short control and then leave it with any intent to go back to the B site. So, looking like this was destined to be over at A. However,
they changed their mind.
Yeah, they were ready to go out middle. And now they go back towards this B side of the map.
You're also hoping that timing that you left it, Entropiq like jump spotted or got info and goes, oh, okay, B short's clear, it shouldn't be B, lean A. And also, not only is the AWP often A, but there's often been triple stacks on that top side. So this is Nip again, trying to play against the AWP. They feel like they've done enough defaulting in middle to keep the AWP there. But just now, as I say that, Elian starts to consider lower, and he's moved into Heaven. So it's a good rotate. He's even dropped in. Heaven's getting smoked here. So Elian, he's in a good position right now, and Entropiq are ready for this play.
S-Tag, first man in again. Opener security makes it a double. S-Tag traded after that, and now this AWP given time to get involved. It's Forrester stealing all the glory right now. Fuzi, that's quick. Any more? Any more left in the chamber? 2 left to find for Fuzi. Have to give us a Monacy-esque round here with the pace, with the speed. First man fighting, and Fuzi nails it. Only Krad left to beat, and oh, he's seen him now. He wants it. Fuzi with the clutch. My, oh my. That is a thing of beauty. Fuzi, that's going to pump you up right there.
No way. And this is what we were saying earlier. Entropiq, they know exactly what's going on. It's not like they're stupid. It's not like they're getting wool pulled over their eyes, Harry. They have 4 on B. They have the AWP ready. Forrester triple kills from short, and still Fuzi comes in with a 1v3 like that. That is some star power. We always said big boots to fill on for Device, but Fuzi is making a show of his own. What a clutch. He is quick.
Dude, it's been a really good time to be an Academy AWPer. Like, that, that much is true, right? We had that incredible Torshi clutch from earlier on in the day, in that last series. Now Fuzi's won an incredible clutch of his own.
It's that new generation, Harry. They're coming, whether you like it or not, they're coming quick.
Well, actually, let's just talk about that for a minute. I think... you know, it's super cool to see, like, the Academy ventures actually working. Like, there's so many Academy players playing with top teams now. And whether that's as a stand-in, whether that's meant to be temporary, they're still getting a level of exposure they would have never had, right? You know what would have happened, like, 3 years ago if this was a situation where, like, Device couldn't play? It would have been like, yeah, let's just pull in, I don't know, let's get, like, Makalele on the line, see what he's doing. You just bring back some, like, some old face to try and slot in, someone that you know.
I mean, everyone...
Makalele, not the real example.
It's fine. I know you weren't trying to flame anyone there, but no, it's a win-win for everyone, right? Like, the org gets exposure, young players get a route to the top level. Again, as you say, even if it's just stand-ins, they get a chance to shine. And this round is just an AWP DM right now. Welcome to AWP India, as Fuzi and Elian style the show, but he's not ready for Nickel back at Pillar. Puts Entropiq up a man, and I think Nip have gone a little bit loosey-goosey in this round after winning a blinder like that. Back to B, a 2-2. Elian solo warping A. It's the best setup Entropiq could afford in this position. And Nip still want to play with it. Creeping out Monster, seen this one before. But with no double entries for S-Attack, how will they fare? Krad's on the nice off angle that Forrester 3K'd from the round prior. Out they sneak, out they walk. And Crab will get a bit of a heads up with a barrel, but they still perfect clear him. Nickel back on Pillar. They know he was here, but they don't know he is here until he fires off. It's Rez to trade, now against the AWP. He wanted to peek, but he needs that plant. Elian's coming in, looking for a wall bang, looking to catch him escaping the site, but Rez is using cover well. Swings, misses on both sides, and Rez now holds off. Waiting even longer. Trying to restrict the angle, trying to tuck in. Elian's looking for the kill. It won't present itself. He's got to drop eventually. He's got to drop. And Rez hears it.
And now he knows about the drop. Rez is just mind-gaming him with the swing. There's the closer. Oh, a phenomenal round. It's clutches on clutches for NIP. There's no getting away from them. 6-1, and the scoreline just continues to grow apart. Entropiq, they're getting flashbacks to Nuke, where so many of these rounds were close, so many of these chances were given, but every single one stolen away by NIP, and the tail on overpass is nigh on the same, man. This is wild scenes right now.
Yeah, 1-on-3 into 1-on-2 on the B side, both times walking into the stacks. Nip just don't care anymore. That molly's going to tick, even for 1 damage. It is audible. Nip, no, Connector had opponents in, but had, and not anymore. They back all the way to the site. Elian's afforded an AWP here. But other than a FAMAS, it's just pistols. And again, Alien's on A, which has clearly been the game plan of Nip to just completely avoid him. Nip have not ended A since, like, they took their A the first 3 rounds, and then as soon as they saw the AWP come out, it has been a B end every single round, and they have been clutching them. You know, we know, Entropiq certainly know. 3B, Elian again with that early rotate. You can't fault him for it. He's been in the right place at the right time. Can he put a stop to it? Nade lands well. He's on the angle this time. Oh, the flash is perfect. It's often been contact, not today. Elian's still given a second chance to fight back. Hampers coming in from short, pre-fires him, and a 3-on-2 ensues with Forrester low in the pit. It's not getting any easier. Nip are crunching right now, and it's only Krad in the smoke. He can come through for one perhaps, but S-Tag's got cover from sandbags, and Krad can't see a damn thing. Dropping in, they've heard him. They're going to double face, and that's the round. 7-1. It is brutal on B right now.
This must feel great. Like, NIP, it's like, wow, all the homework we've done, all the effort we've put in, I see it all. Like, right now, it must feel like Hampus is just seeing situations happen before they occur. He's in another realm. He's one step ahead.
And considering how many of these B players have been contact Monster, the first time Elian scopes from pillar to Monster, what do? They flash it. They finally flash Monster. They've just been walking out in 2v4s, and now they start throwing utility. Couldn't have been a better time. Double orb, it's a nice change. Something needed to happen here for Entropiq. We've had plenty of buy rounds. And now we have a very passive start for Nip on this default, showing nothing on A. They take B water, but they're not alone. Nickelback and Lackey alongside, and even Elian pushed up. Oh, he sees the back and he takes it. Big opening kill now for Entropiq, especially considering he survives. It's going to force Nip into the old faithful, the B play.
Yeah, why go anywhere else? Plopski. There's 2 at short. Even if he deals with the first, he will get swung for a trade and never comes to that S-tag finally bested in these entries. And right now, walking wounded NIP, their men down. Hampus can't fill the void and Fuzi's caught looking at short. So there's the response for Entropiq. It takes them a while, but the double AWP yields results. They do get themselves a second. You know, there's still a route to recovery in this first half. You could still go on an 8-7 it from this point onwards, right? And I mean, it's such a weird one to even talk about it in that sense, but like, you know, you can feel good at like an 8-7. It does just mean that you've got to win every single round. I think if Nip even managed like one more and win out the half, this is already a more than good enough T-side.
I'm not even going to run down that mental path because nothing suggests
mental path. It is a mental path.
Yeah, it is a mental path.
Like a challenge from Raven.
Yeah, Nip are crossing the bridge. They're building the bridge right at their very feet. And then they're crossing it, and it's pretty easy, Harry. No one's getting drowned today.
It's Entropiq getting gunked on right now.
The goot is loose. Oh, again, contact, and bye-bye. Oh, dear. It's another round. It's won in an instant. They finally go, you know what? We've been contacting Monster a lot. What if we just walked out short? What if we did that for a change? Would that work? Damn right it will.
I'm kind of just lost for words because it like
beautiful. It
just looks like it's so
dumb.
Yeah, I can't explain it. It's like, yeah, man, yeah, just hold shift, go in. You know, maybe we'll just walk out into B and then we win the round.
Yeah. It's been so just basic, but exactly perfect. Where's the double AWP, Harry?
On A.
On A,
yeah.
isn't it?
And they can't retake with a double AWP.
No, I've heard that actually.
That's not allowed, right? Also, want to talk about this. S-tag looking like a phenomenal man on the entry right now.
2 for 2 every time.
Yeah, apart from this round.
Well, yeah, you know, he didn't die. He's running out Monster, getting a couple of transfer kills coming in.
Yeah, no, dude, it's so convincing. Like, and he had Plopski alongside him, you know, coming in as like this second man to help out. That's just devastating. And this was always like a problem for NIP, you know, like they didn't have that kind of guy who could crack a site open on a T side, or, you know, maybe the strats were a little like long-winded, kind of convoluted at times.
Yeah, we have seen
relied on a lot going right. Whereas right now, they've kind of boiled it down to like the very basics. It's like, look, if we just kill them, then we win. And if we go as 5 into these B creeps, or it keeps working and they're not beating us, that's enough.
Oh, good nades. I feel like a lot of the old like T-side calls for Hampus on this map were like, okay, I'm gonna run long and you guys like wait B, or I'm gonna run mid. And that's really hard when you're trying to fake solo, especially in an AWP heavy map. You get picked on just one off angle, you're gone. But when we've seen Nip default on A, it's been Hampus and Fuzi. Like he's had support. It's been a bit, you know, a bit cleaner in that sense. And Nip haven't even like heavy faked A in many of these rounds. This is rare. We're seeing a long take with more than one man, and Elian is so committed. He had to get that kill. Even then, it was a trade. Won't be required. Rez just gets that pickup. Good flashbangs again for Nip. They don't force a shot. Maybe they won't check it, but everything's flowing right now for Nip. You would think this is a corner to clear if they even come round it. Hampus is throwing nades. He is going to go late. Nickelback blinded by his teammate's flash. He turned from the flash, but then Hampus peeked, so he had to look back. It was a lose-lose, and Lackey will fall the same. 5 alive, 9 on the T side. Finally seeing A pops. Nothing can go wrong for Nip.
This is This wasn't meant to be like this. This was meant to be competitive. This is meant to be like a really cool game.
Yeah, I'm not even going to say like this is too like Entropiq have underperformed today for sure, but I'm not even going to say this is much of Entropiq. This is more Nip than anything. Like,
yeah, I mean, dude, it feels like they're just in their heads now as well on the side of Entropiq. Like, a lot of these peaks are just looking super labored. You know, they're the kind of ones that think about. There was that round on Ancient, like Smooya, like triple peaking down lane, right, where you can kind of tell that like frustration gets to you, and so eventually you're just going to yourself like, look, if I just win one of these, we can actually go forth and get around. And so everyone's approaching it with like the mantra of just win one goddamn fight, and then that gives us something. And they're all so keen to fight, and that's kind of making you fumble a little bit, right? Think about how Nuke started for Entropiq. It was super measured. It was super kind of decisive, maybe being the wrong word, because it was very default heavy, but like it was super patient, very respectful. They would wait to see what opportunities they get. You're getting none of that right now on this CT side. It's all kind of gone through the ringer, and it looks pretty scuffed.
There's only so much you can do when nothing is working, right? Because like you can't say, oh, Entropiq just need to make better reads. Like, every B play, it's been the majority of players. It's often been 4 players on B. Like here, it's 4 players on B to start. Entropiq have had good position. Like, maybe here and there they've been caught moving. Like, for example, in the previous B take where Plopsky double entries up short, like they were trying to cross from pit to pillar and maybe go for a monster setup. So sometimes they're getting caught changing spots, but most of the time it's fine for Entropiq. They've got their setups, then Nip just contact play them or hit a really good flash. Elian, this is more like it. Trying to put the AWP to use. He's not been able to do so at A with such passive defaulting, and now he's going to go all the way to B short. Flash will not worry S-Tag. He just shoots, and he suddenly gets a kill for free.
Dude, that's going to get in your head even more, isn't it?
I've got a frag.
Because, you know, that was like perfect. You see even in the HUD when you get killed there, it's, oh, he was full white. He had his hand over his face, couldn't even see me, and of course I just get melted. Elian spammed out by Rez.
Ow. Further from the angle, but even then, Lackey with a flank. Hello, they turned back and they could have doubled up, but S-Tag with another. Good for 2 on these entries, as good as Plopsky was for 2 on the A site of Nuke. Forrester, that's more like it, but he won't find a third. You can't ask for much more, however you needed to. It's a 1-on-3, and Fuzi's shut down crowd on the rotate. It's 10-2. You don't like to call GG early in a game, but it just feels like Nip are another level right
Dude,
now.
I mean, you know, a part of me still holding out because I'm like, okay, maybe if you make them stumble once, like right now, Nip, I don't want to say that they're complacent, but like they've only been finding success. Everything's just been going right. Sometimes when you get around against a team like this, you kind of see them go, all right, boys, like, let's try to refocus, try to go back to like this really, really sound tactical approach. But if that never arrives, then you're just going to get snowballed. You're just going to get steamrolled, and that's what's happening right now.
The kettle is screaming. This water's very hot, Harry. And Entropiq have been scolded. Oh, that's normally an Elian kill. 9 times out of 10, he hits those. But this is that once in a blue moon. And the werewolf is rearing its head out B. Hampus. Do they have silver bullets? He certainly does. He's filled Lackey's head with lead. Forrest is dead, and it's a 5-on-2. This eco corrupted with ease, and all it took was a contact walk out B.
I feel like I'm just watching like a pre-fire map that Nip are like just dry running over and over again. It's wild. Not had dominant games like this in a long while at Pro League, right? Like, it always used to be the case that it's like, oh, you know, 12-3 half, but it ends 16-14 somehow. But Nip, every game they've played so far has had tones like this, where it's just so one-sided. Now there's a chance, though, so I'm going to lower my tempo and lower my voice, because that means we're starting to consider something could happen here. Krad, over towards CT, flashed off the angle. Scout for Elian.
This is an incredible save, Harry.
It is.
I've never quite seen anything like it. 2 players walking away from the bomb site. And yeah, sadly, it's the right call, right? No kit, no nades, no chance against Nip. Elian staying around because he's got nothing to lose with this scout. If he can get kills, that's nice. S-Tag still here, trying to get the AWP. Oh, he's dead, but really doesn't matter, does it? You save a scout, you save an AK, but Nip saved their bacon with 11. And it's crispy. You can hear the sizzle.
I like it. They sound good. They sound
Swedish.
yeah. Kind of a bit miffed at what do we, you know, like, this is just more than anything, because I don't even want to look into the Entropiq side of things too much right now. I think they're trapped in the old mind dungeon.
Yes. That.
Ooh, Forrester, hang on.
You don't
Come
mind.
up on short. Spam as well. Plumsky. Oh my god. Oh, he comes back with some. Now we're going to go in a connector. Looking for Crad. Crad, don't go through. Don't go through, Crad. Just wait. Just wait. Just a bit of patience. It goes a long way.
Oh, you're
no,
kidding.
Don't wait. Go through. Maybe. Ah! Hiding now. And he will best Plopsky in the head-to-head. Nice. Okay, this could be Entropiq on their way to a third. Forrester decided enough was enough. He's the one guy who's been able to give anything over. And Crad will smoke walk con. Do not let a 2-on-4 come back to bite you, Entropiq. Do not let that one peak define this round.
Oh, it could, Harry. Oh, it certainly might. We're waiting for the walk on Monster. Esatag is patient for Hampus to get in position. For Entropiq, it might be the Mine Dungeon, but do nip Mine Duncan on this B play. Molly is good. Lackey hasn't got much room to move, and he will get headshot. Middle of sight, Nickelback with one, and he's won the round. Finally, something to celebrate. Some pats on the back to be had for Entropiq as they pick up 3. It is desperate, though. It is absolutely desperate. And Nip, I don't even need to tell you, they've got enough money to buy full. Great play for Forrester. Someone needed to take the map into their own hands, and he will give it a go. You know, it was a silly walk through the smoke, but Crad, he got one. He was feeling it. And it didn't cost them, luckily enough. Another AWP for Elian. Another AWP for Fuzi. Little mid pop. And this time it's just Fuzi. Hampus won't be with him. It's a triple con walk. They're clearing mid from below, and Nickelback. Gotta be careful. They're going through that smoke, buddy. It hits them, though, and that is so nice, because not only do you get the warning of audio, but you get to slow down Nip with that play. Nothing worse than getting impacted by any grenade. Crad is very aggressive. This is more like it for Entropiq. They're taking space. They're flanking this player in mid. Crad is holding off, though, looking at the T-stairs, so Fuzi might back up into his own death. He's considering it, and he will run and gun with the AWP.
It looked like he knew the whole time. Yeah. Oh, man.
I guess he heard the flash.
Okay. Nickelback, I think he should have seen something on that little jump peak, but we'll have to wait and see. No one's too focused in on short right now, so there is a slight gap.
Uh-oh.
Surely they don't walk out short, right? Oh, they walked out, and in they come. Fuzi with a second in the round. Oh, a third. He's reliving that clutch. This time, though, entrying with the AWP. 3 to the good, and Rez will lock the 4th out of the round. It's Elian, last guy standing in round 15. He's got to give it a go. Try his hand at the clutch, but he's got 3 switched-on players to try and beat. They're not giving him a peek, and then they will, all at the same time, in tandem. 12-3, NIP, a stellar T-side under their belt, and a pistol now would set them up for a very convincing, very, very pacey 2-0 over Entropiq.
Our goal is like try to do our best on every championship. I don't know, we want to win every tournament. That's all I think. Not like a goal in playoffs. It's good for us. We just want to win every game. And every opening, never mind, like FaZe, Navi. Want to be the best.
Hey Future Pros! The map today is Overpass, a map all about taking territory. So here is a little nade set to help garner some control around the bathroom area. For this mini exec you'll need 1 smoke and 1 molly. To throw the smoke, stand in front of this flower. Aim to the sky and just to the right of this part of the tower. Then just toss the smoke. The leaves move a lot, so try to learn this without using them to line this one up. To throw your molly, stand in the same spot and aim in line with the middle of this flower. Then aim just below the wooden section of the sandpit. Run forward for a good few steps, then jumping throw the molly while still running. And that's it. This utility set will gain you some space to edge your way to the A side, or just to keep the CTs guessing.
I'm your worst nightmare. Cause I ain't taking no losses. And I don't even care what the cost is. Are you prepared for the forces I'm about to bring? Cause I'm the boss of all bosses. I penetrate your thoughts and fill them with doubt. You gon' feel where I'm coming and feel what I'm about. If they come in with the drama, I'm wheeling them out. Cause I ain't about to have somebody here stealing my clout. I keep my friends close, enemies closer. Cause that's the way it is and the way it's supposed to be. Anybody can see there's only room for one, and that one is me. Plenty tried, plenty failed. Too many times I've seen plenty bail. And there will be
A destructive NIP rig to blow right now as they sit 12-3 up in the first half of Overpass. Now they move to the easy side, Harry, but it felt like that half was certainly no challenge either. Entropiq, it's going to be a quick day for them as they are about to get 2-0'd even more dominantly than Fnatic did just yesterday. That will be our third game of the day, if you're wondering, coming up after this Fnatic LFO that we're waiting for. But let's see if NIP can get us there quick as they look for a pistol win.
It's a quad B stack early, and when they don't hear anything, they might want to try and take some control here. Forrester's just missed that timing. Long control taken for Entropiq, while Forrester's maintaining this control over towards short. And because he hit this little gap, if there were to be any re-aggression from NIP, he should be there to catch it. He's kept this open for Entropiq to open up the pistol. Rez might make contact, might get the essence of the round right now if he finds Forrester, but he's not going any further. Glock v USP, what's better? He sees smoke coming over now, and Forrester will secure the opener. S-tag, they're all around him, and he's overwhelmed. Lackey gonna lock that in. 3 on 5. For NIP, their stat that they've kept every second half flawless at this event is on the line. So let's see if they're going to be able to turn this around somehow. Shouldn't happen, but Hampus has secured the first. There's a trade from Crad, and with Fuzi dinked up earlier on, this might have to be a save call for NIP. Hold on to the armor. Hampus is getting chased down. He just heard that shot, so he knows that someone's close. He doesn't even want to take a hit here because he's got that nice cheap upgrade to the full armor. Oh, he's dead.
And maybe Fuzi too. Hiding out along. Yeah, that's a nice call for Forrester, or a nice, nice bit of info for Forrester. He goes B short. He hears those rotates because Entropiq go 4 long and they start throwing flashes. He hears 2 players rotate up and he makes that call. And you see the second the wood steps come in, rotating out bridge, because NIP never knew that Forrester was out, they didn't know how obvious that rotate was. You could see by Rez's angle that he was holding. He did not consider Forrester was on the close right side. And as soon as Forrester hears the steps, his entire team rotate back spawn and they just pop into B. So nice call from Nickelback. But how long will it last? 4 long with USPs. These youths wait for Entropiq to make a mistake. Flash is going to go over. Plenty of players looking into the wall and into the rock, and now they've got to rock their world. Plopsky with a pick. Elian fires back, but he won't overextend. He just wants to wait for more flashes or more assistance from his team. However, these CTs are getting closer. Got to be careful that he doesn't get swung. Nickelback holding from a range. There's a nice shot, and it should just be easy pickings now. Gun grabbed. Not the end of the world. They're fighting for the round. Plopsky should be dead, and so he is. Nice eco for Nip, but Entropiq keep it as clean as they want and get all those rifles into the next.
Yeah, the whole goal, though, was to bring these CT rifles in as fast as you can. So, you know, you'll take the 2 kills you were able to get out of that round, considering it was just full USPs. Fast mid-control again for Entropiq. Fuzi, I don't know if he's fully aware just how close they are. Through party, and so he's going to get found right away. Brilliant setup by Nickelback. Left him kind of high and dry over in the toilets. Rez now has his work cut out for him as well. He's got to be responsible for both con and mid. He's got to have his head on his swivel.
Because this is now a super awkward round, Nip are full gambling B. Like, they are all playing for lower. Rez knows they could be running up long right now. The boost is nice, but again, Forrester, the anti-info man, they have no clue, and he's going to clear it. Yeah, quick kill. Further damage to Plopsky through the wall. Oh, that nade. Oh, it's close. It bounces back, though. Luckily, Forrester avoided the hit. Rez coming through, Con, that's ballsy, and oh, felt like he had it, but no. 2 on 5 of the B site. Nip are both here, but surely no hope in hell.
Yeah, S-Tag dead after 1, just Plopsky. You know, the twins overran here inside of B. Oh, Plopsky! Making it interesting. There's a big flank for Elian coming in through the A bomb site. So Forrester's going to wait. He's going to give Elian time to spring this trap. But right now, Elian's going heaven. That's the info that no one's here. He's still committed to the heaven angle, just waiting to catch Plopsky. If he looks to reposition, still this gives a 1v1 to Forrester that Plopsky's going to win, and Elian's got to make noise to get out of heaven. What? Has to make noise on the drop. Now Plopsky knows this flank doesn't find any of the impact it was meant to. He just needs to win it in the gunfight, in the clutch. Get that bomb down with a second to spare. Plopsky, you are not supposed to win this.
Oh, bad smoke.
He was all alone throughout the whole damn thing, and now he's heard Elian get out of there, reposition onto the short side. No kit for Plopsky. Means he would have to full 10-second stick this one, so he needs the kill. Elian's crossed to the sandbags. Plopsky knows. Plopsky's aware. Starts to move in. It's a lot of damage. Both players now. 1 shot away, and Plopsky 4 in the round. Incredible clutch. That's a 1v4 out of this guy to find 13 for NIP.
Unbelievable, and that's a total bungling by Entropiq. Plopsky plays it to perfection. I was shocked when Elian stays heaven right. After you clear that, the only place Plopsky can be, given Forrester's on short, he knows he's not Monster, he can only be Graffiti or CT. That's a total misplay for Entropiq. Oh my goodness, Plopsky's just, he's a beast. And this is what we said earlier, there's just no weak link on NIP in any of these games they've played. A phenomenal clutch, and that is going to send Entropiq out of this game, you would surely assume. That will kick them while they're already down. Perfect round out of Plopsky. Fuzi's having fun now, push towards B. Oh dear. Forrester gets that kill. There's still hope yet. A bit of a B-pop. They're trying what Nip did against them. Good Molotov. S-Tag has to fly through it, but it's not going to be up for much question where he's gone. Back to the pit. Entropiq can afford to wait this smoke. They got a 5-on-3 with all the time in the world.
Yeah, right. 5-on-3. Surely this is safe. S-Tag still biding his time. Rez, they spot him. S-Tag goes up, goes over, and goes down. And Lackey with a nice double leaves it all on Hampus. Oh, don't.
Not another.
Yeah, he won't even go for it, you know. Good, because I don't need another one of these another one of these horrible 1vx's to come out. Hampus might even get away with the M4, but found at the final hurdle. Forrester will remove it from play at least. And Entropiq, they're on their way to making this a little more competitive. As to whether or not they're going to be able to turn it around, we'll have to wait and see. But they do at least have another eco to chow down on here. That 7th round should be locked in.
Oh, I'm still reeling, Harry. I'm still reeling from that 1-on-4. It was so beautiful for Plopski. We've had a myriad of clutches come through today. 1v2 for Fuzi on Nuke, 1v3 from Fuzi here. Plopski with a 1-on-4 now. Where's the 1-on-5? That's all I'm wondering. Some mental rounds. And Entropiq are doing the rounds in their mental, trying to forget the past. Pistol's pushing into Forrester, and that's a lovely double given the sign of the times. Hampus has hit his Deeg shot. Don't win a full eco again, and Elian denies that at least. Crowd, big kill as Estag gets his gun, and Rez, thank goodness he dies there, because I am not comfortable with that round being won by Nip. So Entropiq will just about get it under the rug. But you can never count Nip out with some of the, well, we've seen a full eco today as well, back on Nuke. Some scary rounds, but you know, bit by bit, Entropiq are piecing it together. We still haven't had this CT AWP other than that one B short peak that fell for Fuzi, and this round is not going to field it either. So here we go. Back 10, Nickelback going fast.
Yeah, right in, right out through Monster, up in the face of Estag, but he will flick back, deal with the Mac 10.
Oh my God, they heard him. They heard him.
Yeah.
They heard him.
They should have.
They heard him. They didn't hear him.
They didn't hear him.
He ran.
He was running.
Way.
I mean,
the whole way he ran.
Okay, that's kind of weird now. Up into the A site, I guess, but Fuzi is here. And Rez is also still running around in the back line. Fuzi will get cancelled out. There's a route to an A plant. Lackey is trying his best to save the damn day. Rez, though, the invisible man, all the way over at long. Plopski on the rotation up through CT. Rez good for another. This is so much value out of this mid push, even playing into the retake. Just Lackey to beat now, but he's been the guy who made this whole round possible, made this whole round happen. Rez, tap on the bomb. Lackey eventually has to give this a look, give it a check, and Rez will win another clutch for NIP, 14-7. And everything's coming up Nip right now.
Forget Butterfingers, Rez has Butterfeet. He's sliding around in T-Spawn and no one knows anything. I think that simply comes down to because that's so crazy. Whoever was in con, I think it was Crad, hears it, but he thinks it's his teammate, right? It's so early in the round for an opponent to be running around in your spawn, you just think it's your teammate. And yeah, both players, maybe there was some call there, but no, it was Crad here who didn't know the Rez was tucked in. Maybe he thought he was only mid, maybe it was a miscomp. Whatever it was, it's a mistake that is a sign of the times for Entropiq. Beautiful headshots from Lackey, but no clutch to convert today, and that's 14 for Nip. Lackey's had a good series as well. Like, you know, Forrest is the top performer right now in the entire server. You know, he's had a few multi-kills on CTB, unfortunately most of them being in lost rounds. He's been anchoring B short on the T side, or lurking rather, and getting info. He won them the pistol with that. But, you know, Lackey in both maps has also been shooting heads. However, all of that falls on dead ears at 14-7. One final buy, one final try for Entropiq, and they're going to go for the stack. Full boost failed, and so back to the drawing board. And so the reboost instead comes from Nip. Oh, that's a good flash. They've been really good at popping B short. That's the one thing that's worked wonderfully for Forrester.
Oh, boosting again. All right. New way. Same angle. That's a tag onto Plopski from the AWP at Monster. Oh, it's close. Bloody hell.
Oh,
jeez, thank God he ran out of ammo. Crad does not know how lucky he is. They still want to attempt this boost by the looks of things. I think that's pretty ballsy. Like, surely you're not ready for this if you're NIP, and they're not. Plopski's plucked out of the round easy. as you like. Fuzi with some short re-aggression. Entropiq is still committed to the B play. Reds will spam out crowd eventually, and now it's all gotten a little bit wild. They're just embracing the 3-on-3. NIP didn't even think this was going to happen. They were rotating away, but now they've come back in. Oh, holding the line. Lackey brings it back into a clutch. Fuzi all alone, and Lackey this time gets it over the line for Entropiq.
What a disrespect play. They see everyone for Nip in B and they go, screw it, let's run at them, right? Like, that's just a crazy B pop, but it's also partly because Nip don't have a setup. They're doing all these boosts, they're running around, they're jumping over for info. So, you know, Entropiq know that Nip don't have this like amazing crossfire established. They can find a gap there by running in and hitting timings, and a good 5-on-3 converted. It gets close, but rounds are rounds, and wins are wins, and Entropiq will take what they can get in this game right now. They forced an eco out of Nip again. And so they keep trying to drag it back. A mid pick, you miss nothing, don't worry. It's only pistols, and Forrester's lurking out B again. He has been a problem in this T side to deal with. And that problem will continue to rear its head. Nickelback now getting flashed out on short. Rez with a triple boost getting info. Popsky's gone. Now Rez got to be careful. Oh, he's just shooting Forrester, trying to spam through the B short angle. It's a kill, but it won't mean much in the grand scheme.
Yeah, it should, you know, it shouldn't get any more risky from here on in. Rez should just die with getting nothing done, and that will be Entropiq up on a 9. That's how it should go. Let's see if it does go that way. There we go. Nailed on the peak. Oh, it misses, but Nickelback was there to close. And Entropiq, they do secure that 9th round as promised. Now we have the reinvestment for NIP. This is a little more labored than we've had to see out of them in these second halves, in their closes.
Yeah. Certainly true. I'm not worried yet. Here's a crazy stat. Forrester is 8-0 in opening duels right now. 8-0. Given how this game has gone, and I don't just mean the second half, this whole game, that is phenomenal. Like, that's a lot of attempts and not one failure. Most of that, I imagine, has been these T-side picks out on B. Even so. Oh, that's nice. Over the smoke.
And he gets out as well. That's wild, man. Horrible way to start the round. That late peak from Hampus. They were holding for it early. It's his decision to play into the round just a few seconds after when you use it. Now the mid walk gets spotted by Rez, and even though it's a 1-for-1, it's kept the 4-on-3 in favor of NIP. Spotted the bomb. It's a lot of info to go off of. Hampus isn't even deterred. He's still playing up in the toilets.
Oh, this is so scary. Either they walk into him and they won't be ready, or they walk past him and then they're really not ready. It's a lose-lose right now with Hampus here. He hears everything. Forrester might just lose the bomb. Hampus turns back at the right time. Nickelback walking out long, spotted by Fuzi. Now Hampus, he activates and he shoots him in the back. 2 kills, 1 late player ready to trade, but Hampus is good for 4 in the round. 15 found for NIP, and the inevitable, it is here. It is staring you down the face. This 2-0 for the Ninjas is coming.
It's just so striking how they've been able to make Entropiq look, really. Like, you know, coming into today, it's Entropiq and Nip both up at the top of the group. This was the chance for one of them to keep that flawless streak going, right? And find themselves 2-0, sat pretty in Group A. And so it was meant to be pretty close, but yeah, it's been anything but. It's just so crazy to see NIP doing this to him. Lackey will catch Rez getting aggressive. It's about time someone put a stop to this mid-aggro.
Yep. Oh my god, the spamming. Just shooting water. Forrester, that's finally a pick on B failed by him. And that is a rare case, a very rare case indeed. He's been so efficient at this lower site. Oh my god, Nip are absolutely mad. They go for the full rotate. And this is because they've killed Forrester, because he is that B-lurk while Entropiq run A plays. And given that Nip lost res early, they had no A info, so they've gone for a gamble. This is like a gambit round right here. But I think you might... Well, you can retake. I say you might have to save. You have so much utility. The spot has come in for Heaven. You can see the nades are out. They are playing to stop this plot. If they can get there in time, Nickelback is deep in the pit. He needs to go back with the bomb right now. And this is just giving more time for Nip to get set up. They use the nades early because the bomb is so late and it's a different plant. So Nickelback has set them up at least, just about. But there's the smoke shot that will get Nip ready to go. They were looking to save, now they're interested.
Yeah, full on bit of smoke spam. Boost up and over. Can this net them away back in? They won't see Nickelback. He'll spot them first. He was holding for the boost. Flashes raining out through Heaven. Tech9 bested in the head-to-head. Everyone's low. Lackey's putting up numbers with the AWP. He is trapped at Pillar. Got a long way to go still. There's another for Lackey, the anti-clutcher, putting a stop to it again. 4 kills to make magic happen. And he does get double digits on the board for Entropiq. The gamble decision from NIP comes back to haunt them. They had faith that with all that util, as you pointed out, with the nades, with the molly, they could have retaken that B site.
I feel like in both of these maps, Lackey's had like as much impact with their second AWP as Elian's had with the primary, and he's only had it a few times. See, that's not his first multi-kill with the AWP. Very nice. You know, high impact given what happened there. Nip go for a gamble, and you can see why, but it falls a bit short, as do the nades. The wide plant saves Nickelback. Now, it's a gamble the other way, full B. And where are Entropiq? Well, they're working mid. So, okay, this game's not done. I've been framing it as such, but it has felt like a long time coming. Oh, Forrester. Oh, baby. Keeps up his opening duel stat. He's okay for now, but even so will die. Oh, they overwhelm a second as well. The good thing about this for Entropiq is they can just run. They know, knife out to the A site, we've got all the room in the world. Caring for one just in case the numbers are wrong, but this should still be their round. It's up to Nip whether they want to save guns with so much loss bonus and so much backed up cash.
Yeah, they're set in stone what they're going to do here. They're saving. Never moved once they got their hands on these prized AKs. They're going to send S-Tag in. I like this. You know, sometimes we would play with the P250 being like a bodyguard almost, right? Like floating around, being there to grab an AK if you get hunted. But you know Entropiq aren't in the business to hunt right now. And so they just free up S-Tag. They say, look, if you go in and get 1 kill, that's good damage in this round. Can he manage it? Is surprised by Lackey being so deep, and so Entropiq, they deal with the one threat that comes their way. And there is a world where they could look to get this to OT, even though, as you kind of say, as we've been alluding to, it feels like Nip are destined to win this series. Entropiq are giving them a run for their money. Now just 4 between them and overtime. And because it's a CT side that you're up against, you know, you're in this very unique spot where really that's not 4 proper rounds between you and OT. Really, it's like, what, 2 rifle rounds? So yeah. There's a real opportunity here. 2 rifles are forced in there. You know, saves will at least give you a bit more oomph, give you another buy where there would be an eco. Hampus is now doing what Rez got away with once, but only once, and that's the full wrap. He's shooting as well. Elian's seen him. There's info. It's gone back. Hampus's feet could get seen, and Elian, that wallbang doesn't connect somehow. It will onto him. He's low. He's got to ditch and get out of middle. He's got support, though. Hampus is trapped, right? Needs a kill here before he goes down. Doesn't want to offer up a 4-on-4, but the longer he waits here, the more time Entropiq are getting wasted right now by this very aggressive player. Fusi coming in to help, but he'll be too late. The flash blinds the T's. Hampus is going to try and fight the AWP, and he puts him down to 7, but no kill. Still, minute on the clock, 4-on-4. Entropiq just have to go back to B. There's so much map to clear on that top site. And so into what is currently only 2 players, but both of the monster side. This could still be it for Nip. That smoke. Oh, the re-smoke. Yeah. At the 40-second mark as well. If you're waiting for that to fade, you know, you're going to have like 25 seconds as you try to make your way into B.
Uh-oh.
That is such a middle finger from Nip.
There's another smoke.
It's just been lobbed over from A. Oh, mate. At this point now, you've got to go up short. You've got to go up short because you've been re-smoked again at Monster. You've just got to move in, contact play. In they come. Plopsky's going to reposition, hold off the Monster side. The flash might leave him blind, but it's all right for now. They've crossed in. The bomb plant could get denied. Plopsky's going to deny the plant. He can't find any more, but is that one kill going to be enough? Only Elian left, and there just isn't time. NIP 2-0. Another one added to the tally as they now sit top of Group A, undefeated in their openers and looking good. This NIP squad, very exciting indeed.
Hey Future Pros! Today I wanted to show you a setup Heroic used to get a free cheesy kill on a CT playing towards B short boost spot. Overpass has a lot of double and triple nade possibilities, but let's start with this one. For this pro tip, you'll need 3 Future Pros, 3 HEs and 1 molly. Future Pro number 1. You'll be throwing the short molly to stop any CTs from pushing and one of the HEs. To throw your molly, you will need to stand on the edge of this shadowy area. Aim at the bottom center of the B, then jump throw the molly. Next, make your way to the surf ramp. Look for this dark line and stand in front of it. Aim to the right of this grate along this line. Then simply running jump throw the nade and you are set. Future Pro number 2. You'll be throwing the other HE. Head to the same surf wall and position yourself between these 2 white cracks. Aim along this line of the grate halfway to the right side. Then running jump throw the HE. Future Pro number 3. Guess what you'll also be throwing? A HE. To throw yours, head to the surf wall with your other Future Pros. Stand over the bottom corner of this red smudge. Aim along the second line of the grate close to the center. Then running jump throw the HE. If anyone is close to the boost, they will take some hefty damage. If they are unlucky enough to be boosting, well, you probably get 2 free kills. Happy nading.
30 seconds away to the beginning of this match. Just to recap, Fnatic are going to be starting the first map on the CT side. We wonder if they're going to opt for double ults or if they don't even have the economy to do so. Will Fnatic shut them down as they did Gambit?
2016 saw Cologne host its 3rd CSGO major championship in a row. And as always, the best players from around the world came to Germany to fight for the most prestigious title in the game, with Fnatic's star-studded roster not being an exception.
CT plays, but he's got 2 to find, and he's exposed to short as well. Down goes 2, jumping frag, and a headshot no less to take down Kirishima.
Their solid performance and time brought them into the semi-final, where they now had to face the favorites from Team Liquid. The battle would be tough, but just when Liquid seemed to have it all under control, Dennis reminded everyone that you should never underestimate the Swedes.
There are still 4 Liquid players towards B. Dennis with a fast frag on the simple. Bomb will be planted, posting a defense by the APC now. Pops more heads. Is this guy done just yet? This is a very tough re-entry for Liquid. What? Dennis is getting in there again. And there might be one more, of course. Dennis with the ace to kick off the second half. Fnatic needed that, and Dennis delivered.
Songs in a helpful head.
Credit where credit is due. Entropiq almost managed to claw their way back into that overpass map after going down 12-3 on the first half, but unfortunately for them, it was NIP winning out 16-11. And with the 16-5 victory on the first map, Nuke, this NIP that wins this best of 3 across 2 maps. Congratulations to the Ninjas. And welcome all to you at home back to the desk where myself, Parla, Alan and Maui will be breaking things down. Guys, I've got to be honest, I think Entropiq did a good job of trying to work their way back into that second map, but why didn't it work out?
Yeah, unfortunately, as you just said, they just left themselves too much to do going into that second half, and I'm sure we'll look at some of the replays, but for me, it was all about afterplants in this map. If they win just 2 or 3 more in that first half, I truly think they could have won the map, but certainly giving up so many of those afterplant rounds made it so difficult going into second.
That was the story of map 1 and map 2.
Yeah, true.
In my opinion, this is a game where Entropiq is going to look back, and it's all the little details, not converting in a 2v2, not making your own magic happen in those kind of situations. Whereas NIP was full of it. They were constantly delivering in situations where I was counting them out in rounds, and there were so many spectacular highlights in this game. It was a lot of fun to watch. But then on the flip side of it, you have to look at Entropiq and think, what's going on with them? Why is the communication not where it should be? Because they should have converted many more of these sort of situations.
Talking about amazing moments, Maui, we have that Plopski clutch up on screen, and that was amazing work by Plopski, but Alan, am I right in thinking that Entropiq should never have lost that round?
Yeah, very, very unlikely they should have been losing it. They knew exactly where Plopski had to be, and certainly in a lot of these afterplant scenarios, the kind of key takeaway from my perspective was maybe it's communication problems really letting them down. It just feels like if you just calm, communicate, say we know where this player is, let's work together to isolate him, but so many times in this game taking individual duels when they should have been playing together.
There was a lot of times where you could see on the flip side for NIP, when they had to win the 2v2s and 3v3s, they would swing together. The comms were clearly so much better in the NIP camp. It's a hugely different look than what I got from them last year. Even on Overpass. Last year on Overpass, when they played T-sides, it was almost like a 2015 Swedish style where they're just kind of prodding everything at the same time. We saw a much more modern version of an offense today where they were exploding onto the B side. A lot of contact plays, but ones that they're together, they can trade. Everything that NIP did today felt like more of a team than what Entropiq did.
Considering how strong of a victory this was for NIP, the fact that it was against Entropiq, who are, you know, a very strong team from their region, is it surprising considering that NIP is still this roster that we don't exactly know what to expect from?
I feel like we had this kind of conversation in the green room that potentially as analysts, we underrate NIP a little bit because we see a ceiling for them that they can't elevate kind of beyond, but when they're playing lower tier teams, they're actually pretty consistent. They are, for me, the 8th best team in the world. They look like the 8th best team in the world. They have very solid CS, and as you're mentioning, Maui, multiple times, their T-sides look so much cleaner at this competition.
I'm not going to lie or beat around the bush with this. A lot of Eastern European teams right now, I give them the benefit of the doubt for a world situation that I'm not going to touch on at all right now. And so I'm not going to look too deeply into this look for Entropiq. It felt like for some reason today they're a little bit more deflated. They're not really hitting the same stride that they were a couple months ago, and that's something where right now I'm saying this is okay. Entropiq will move past a loss like this.
For now, let's move over to Heku, who is ready with an interview.
Well, between the maps, I asked Rez if NIP are going to get 10 rounds on the T side. They didn't do that. They got 12 rounds. Like, there's no doubt that when it comes to Hampus and your coach DGL, like, they really managed to improve your T side. What was the main focus? The nades, the strats, the timings, or was it something else?
I mean, we've implemented quite a few new strats on Overpass, on every map actually on the T sides. And they seem to work this game, which is great. Also, we pulled up some really nice clutches. I think me and Rez on the T side, which helped quite a bit in rounds that maybe we shouldn't have won. So it's a combination of both, I would say.
Well, before your series, there was G2 against Mouse. Were you watching that game, or were you just fully focused on your series?
No, I was focusing on our series.
Okay, like just to give you an update, Mouse won against G2 with a score of 2-0, and you're going to play against them. As I heard like from your guys that you really prepared for Entropiq, will you be able to prepare on the same level against Mouse?
Yeah, of course. We devote a lot of time to prepare against our opponents, and we will prepare good.
Okay, then I'm looking forward. Before we finish the interview, I just want to make a special shout out to you and to your coach, because yesterday the catering was closed like when we finished the stream, and you were nice enough to share your pizza, so you were like the MVP of my evening. So thank you very much for the interview, and thank you very much for the pizza.
Thank you.
Fozy and Heku sharing pizza. You love to see it. Something else that I love to see is Fozy doing that interview, because when I first met him, I was lucky enough to do his first ever interview, and it feels like at this point he's settled in, but how long is he going to retain this position? We still don't know, guys.
It's a huge question out there. I want to actually bring it to the fact that he praised DJL a lot, and DJL's working with Fozy. Even though we don't know how long he's going to be on the roster, they're still treating it very seriously. And I would love to see this lineup with Brawl and with Device, but as they currently stand, I'm liking what I'm getting from NIP. I think that right now, DJL has been one of the slyly best roster moves of this year for Tier 1 teams, because everybody's, you're blinded by the Monacy, the Torzi highlights, but in terms of bringing structure to a team that I think direly needed it, DJL is doing an excellent job right now.
And I think on the Fozy angle, for that player, it's a very unenviable position to be knowing that you've got a player like Device behind the scenes that any time could come back. But irrespective of all of this, the experience he's gaining with some of these players playing in these positions when previously just playing in the Academy Leagues, you're not going to get this sort of exposure. For him as an individual player, if he moves on from NIP in the future, this will do wonders for his career.
Absolutely.
We're still so early on in Pro League, but I guess I want to ask one final question that's quite general. Considering our thoughts on NIP, that we still don't necessarily know exactly where their future as a roster is going, in its current state, how far do you think these guys can go in terms of results?
I would say playoffs, certainly at this point, is now an expectation, given how the groups have gone so far. Beyond that, it's a bit of a question, potentially moving forward into those. Maybe there's a few teams with more recent roster moves that they could go up against. But for me, if they hit top 4 at this tournament, that would be a huge result.
I could see that. I could see it actually happening with the right kind of draw in terms of map vetoes, matchup dependent, sort of. But I would say that right now in the world rankings, I think that NIP are sitting pretty comfortably top 8 or so. I think there's actually a little bit of upward mobility for them, but they don't quite have the heavy hitters that I would say the top 3 absolutely elite teams do. So NIP right now, probably, and I've kind of memed in the past about rankings for teams, but I think like top 5, top 6 is actually very attainable for them.
Awesome, guys. Thank you very much. Once again, congratulations to the Ninjas. We have one more best of 3 to go today. And before I send us off to a break, I need to remind all of you at home about ESL Impact. That is our all-women's CSGO league for EU, NA, and SA. The Open Qualifier, the second and last Open Qualifiers start tomorrow. The league starts on March the 17th. And 2 teams from each region will qualify to play in the global finals at DreamHack Dallas. Prize pool of 150k. So do not forget to check that out and go and sign up. We will be back at 7:20 for our final best of 3 of the day, and it's an interesting one. We are going to be looking at Fnatic and looking for Org. Everybody, we will see you then.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Choose nades, choose a smoke, choose a flashbang. Choose teen badges to support your favourite CSGO team. Choose an ESEA Premium membership. Choose routes you know bring in wins. Choose pro video tips. Choose the fan club wars. Choose behind the scenes content. Choose good grades. Choose guns you know you can shoot right. Choose bingo. Choose the equipment you know is going to get your team the win thanks to heat maps. Choose the CSGO Hub Premium, the complete package to help you and your squad achieve all your CSGO goals.
insisting to be small. Just subdivide. I'll show you how it's done. We go inside. The man is the one. You walk faith in God. They never come and wonder why we all divide. The birds. We're coming home with a mission to bring an end to a terrible land. We are here to your omission. We are many of one. We're coming home with a mission to tear you down from your undeserved road. We can take your conviction. We are many of one. You may call it a virus. It's an answer to silence. The future is here to revolt. Embrace your destiny, slay your enemy, raise a legacy. No more apologies, trust your abilities, gather the energies. Pull yourself back together, been staying off track forever. Child of the nation, will seek redemption, time for salvation. Today is meant to be day of victory, time for history. Reverse the tendency, fight the entropy, channel your rivalry. You're praying for fortune to come, you're hearing the sound of the drums. It's too late to backtrack, go back, you're back now. Keep your feet on the road and stand up. You've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, out, out. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Go save your team, be a hero. It takes got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, out, out. Stand up, got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Keep holding on, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Keep holding on, show them how to make a miracle. There's no need to go begin. I don't comprehend and I do not pretend, cause when I'm coming is to win. You either got it or you don't. You either bought it or you won't. You either wanna give it everything or wanna cry about a soul, I'ma say it from the jump. Mama ain't raised a chump. Mama raised me to persevere if I'm ever here in a slum. Cause nobody starts at the top. You do your part and you better buy. Working hard each and every day, even though some days it get hard to watch. But you gotta trust the process. Grind hard, don't you ever quit. It's a must, you see the progress. Got a ball till you get a hit. They can never do what I can do, cause they on the same stuff. If you doubt me, then I'm coming to show them what I'm made of. Yeah, always showing your integrity. Yeah, if you want it, I'ma let them see. No guts, no glory, not a part of my story. I'm going hard for that trophy, that's why they all been on me. No guts, no glory, there's no need to go again. I don't comprehend and I do not pretend, cause when I'm coming it's to win. No guts, no glory, not a part of my story. I'm going hard for that trophy, that's why they all been on me. No guts, no glory, there's no need to go again. I don't comprehend and I do not pretend, cause when I'm coming it's to win.
Wake up, put the work in, it's the only way it's gonna work out. Hard work and dedication, no time for procrastination. Takes a lot of time, a lot of patience, a lot of heart mixed with motivation. On the days that you're feeling down, look in the mirror for your inspiration. Like, woo, just notice, never stop, never quit. People wanna see you do